So today is May 16th of 2024. I have actually just been diagnosed with a rare disease called VKH. I started having symptoms around April the 18th, maybe a few days earlier. The first symptom I noticed was my left eye. My left eye started becoming red. I thought it was allergies because here I'm in North Carolina. We have a lot of pollen that falls. I tend to do a lot of work outside. And I just felt like, hey, it's allergies. I started doing some of the things I regularly do, which is drinking my tea with honey. I even went and got some stinging nettles and some actual bee pollen from the organic marketplace that I shop at near here, and made some homemade teas with those, and nothing seemed to help. As a matter of fact, my eyes continued to get red now in both of them and started just becoming even redder. So fast forward, I actually commemorate Passover. So Passover this year was on April the 22nd. I usually do that with family members, my son, my nephews who live in the area as well. And so we were sitting down and we were reading the Harada. And at this point, my eyes are really red. I am having a little bit of a headache. And so some of the words seem to start running together. Now, I'm trying to read and the guys are like kind of giggling at me because they're not used to me making mistakes like that. Some of the words that I thought were there, I was reading them from, I don't know what kind of way I was reading them. They just were not read the way they needed to be. So that night, I actually told my son, I said, hey, I'm going to go to urgent care tomorrow, which is what I did. I went to urgent care. And so when I went, the nurse practitioner, she examined me and basically she said that my sinuses were the size of gumballs, and that was the reason why I had the redness of eyes, that my eyes were hurting when I would look down or up. And she treated me with antibiotics. So she actually treated me for sinusitis and conjunctivitis. She gave me antibiotics that I was to take for 10 days. And then she also gave me some steroids, prednisone, that I was to take for 3 days. And just some Patanol eye drops. So I'm taking these meds, and the 3 days that I took the steroids, I seemed to be back to normal. My eyes were clear. They were no longer red. I was able to actually see clear. I felt almost like myself again. But right after those 3 days, the redness came back, even redder. My vision became extremely blurry to the point where I couldn't read a text message on my phone. I could barely read writing that I had written out myself on a notebook. So I go back to the urgent care a week later and I'm telling them, hey, it seems like my vision has gotten even worse. I said it seemed to be fine the days that I took the steroids. And so the nurse practitioner, it was the same one. She tells me, she said, well, that was just a steroid burst. I can't have you take those steroids all the time. She said, but if you are still having vision problems, which they checked my vision on my initial visit and my sight was fine. She says, I'm going to refer you to the Charlotte EENT here. So that was on a Thursday. That Thursday, I want to say was, I don't know the exact date now. I would have to double check. You know what? There's the calendar right there. So that Thursday was on May 2nd. So by this time, I'm 8 or 9 days into the antibiotics. The steroids are gone. I've still been taking the Tylenol eye drops, and my vision has gotten worse. So they refer me to the center, and that was on the Thursday, May the 2nd, and they made that appointment for May the 9th, so a whole week out. Mind you, like I said, I can't see anything. I work with the computer all day. That's how I earn my living. I also do work with my notebooks and paper where I have to write and read a lot, because everything that I do basically involves numbers and mathematics. So at this point, I have not even been able to really work for a little over a week. Now, they're saying I can't go and see this center until a week later. I was feeling so bad. My head, my eyes, at this point, I'm scared. So even that Saturday, I went to the local ER here. Well, I'm telling them, hey, I just can't see. I've given them the background on what I've already done. I said, see my eyes. Do you see how my eyes look? So basically, they do call me in the back. They're telling me that, you need to go and see maybe your eye doctor, or I can tell, well, the lady that actually examined me, she says, I can tell it's your sinuses, just make sure you keep your appointment. And I'm like, well, I can't see anything. And so she said, well, just get you some readers. Go and get you some readers until you can go to your appointment. And I broke down, and I did, because I've never had any eye issues, none whatsoever. I've actually prided myself on being able to see really well. So I went to Dollar General, got some readers. I think the lens of it is like 2.00 is what I got. And only then was I even actually able to look down at my phone and read a text message clearly. I was able to look down at my notebook and read writing clearly. I still could not read writing as clear as I should have been able to on my computer screen. But it did make it a lot easier for me to read things on my phone and for me to read things on written out pieces of paper. So, after that, I was still not happy, because me and anybody that knows me, I try to be a semi-health nut. Like, I don't put much of anything damaging in my body. I always try to make sure that I keep a healthy lifestyle, as healthy as possible. And I knew something else was wrong. I had tried all of my own home holistic remedies, and nothing seemed to be working at all. I mean, like I said, I had went to my organic marketplace and gotten different things to make my own teas. I was taking my vitamins. I was drinking plenty of water. I was making this soup that I always make when I may have some allergies flare up every now and again, or if a cold seems to be trying to come on. Like, I barely even get a cold. So I knew that this was something else. So fast forward, I called that center on Monday. And I said, you guys have me set for an appointment on the 9th, which is Thursday. I said, but I am afraid that I'm losing my sight. I said, if you can put me on the on-call list if someone cancels. I said, or if you have anything any sooner than Thursday, May the 9th, please squeeze me in. And they had something else. They had an appointment the following day, which would have been Tuesday. And I went to that appointment, and I saw the ophthalmologist there. And he could not hardly believe what was going on with my eyes. He wanted me to see a retina specialist ASAP, like meaning the very next day. So I went to see the retina specialist the very next day. Both of them, my first visit with the ophthalmologist, on my notes and summary, and even his discussion with me, he told me that he believed that I had an autoimmune disease. He did